Hello. Going to be talking about pet animals, particularly cats, because this video is going to be long because I had lots of cats in my life. The first one I don't remember at all whatsoever is a tuxedo cat that we used to have, and my brother, apparently I was a baby, my brother was a toddler. He would attack the cat, and so we had to get rid of it. But I know it wasn't a flat out lie because there's pictures of the cat at our place and hanging around us. So even before I could collectively hold a memory, cats were in my life. Then I and this was back in the first my family moved from one location to Chicago area and then Chicago area to where I live now. And the second location is when we got to experience the wonders of, I guess you call it, an alley cat. Just we as my family would just say outdoor cats or um abandoned cats because it was very well known in that particular area where I used to live that it's common for people to adopt a cat when it was a baby and then like release it out into the wild when it was no longer considered cute, like a cute baby, little baby. And so my family, mostly because my mom loved cats and I loved all animals, including cats, wanted to rescue cats and get them integrated into human society so they could be able to not suffer in just I was about to say international law, but no, that's a human issue. Uh, just na- I guess natural law. I don't know the word right now. It's on the tip of my tongue of just nature, but it's not the word. That's not the particular word I'm looking for. I'll just say nature. Nature just sucks because it's all based on survival, and we wanted these cats to be able to not have to worry about that and actually live a good lives. And based off of survival, as my mom puts it, these cats were very intelligent because, well, of course, they kind of had to be in order to be able to outsmart their prey in order to be able to eat. But she recalls how unfamiliar they were to human affection because they were able to perfectly capture a bird mid-air, like they were sitting on top of a unstable fence that's very thin, jump up, grab a bird, kill it in midair, and then bring it down and then eat it. And but when it came to actually trying to befriend the cats, to give them food, know that we appreciate them, they mom would toss some food and the cat would just react by getting hit point blank shocked. It'd be like, oh, that's weird. Anyways, back to normal. Sometimes not even seeing the food, sometimes actually seeing the food and be like, oh, food, yum. It it's so weird to me because I know how cats literally developed to literally be companions to humans because they didn't want to work anymore. But then when a cat actually gets the approval of a human and the human starts giving food, they physically can't see. They can't see the food. I I don't know. Someone smarter than me will know why cats do that, but to me it's just confusing. And I this happened multiple times. We rescued multiple cats, but I got used to seeing not only dead cats, and then we'd try to bury them if we could, but we didn't have that much space, so usually they got put in a bag and thrown into the dumpster. And I've also seen baby cats that just weren't able to make it because their mom died, or nature rule again. You know how lions, the male lions, when they take over a territory, they kill all the male cubs because they don't want to have competition in the future? That is with all cat relatives, because cats that never even seen in the daylights of Africa also have this mentality. Like, it was very common for babies to just get killed because an older male cat would watch to make sure that they were all girls or take out the boys. So this is this is very common. This is a nature issue again. Nature, eh. But there's this one cat in particular we that is very distinct, that I remember, that we named Snow White. And that was because it was very common for her to, once we got her trust, then it was very common for her to warm up to us, come in, we find out she's pregnant, take care of her, babies get delivered. She takes care of the babies until she thinks that they're adults, but we still see them as babies, so then we take them to the pet shelter, and she somehow is able to run out in between that time and, repeat this process. So there was multiple different instances of just her having babies, and there's particularly two that I remember distinctively, which was the first time that we didn't know that she was going to have kittens, and then this another time where I named the kittens and fell in love with them, and then something tragic happened to one of them. I'm gonna come back to that, put a pin in it, but now I'm gonna tell you about one of her older daughters. There was a cat that had beautiful mix of fur that was like an orange, red, and black mix that my mom was trying to befriend, and I never got the chance to really meet until a bit later in, because that cat was just wary of everyone and everything, which, understandable. Alley cat, a girl on top of that, gonna gain trust issues, understandable. But she was having some sort of issues with her bottom, because she's a wild cat, and um it was very clear that she was having issues where mom was feeding her, and then she saw that her back was not, it was bigger than it should have been. And this cat would take food and run. But then one day this cat comes up crying for help, meowing, just acting extremely friendly. And my mom is shocked, opens the door, the cat comes up and rubs against her, and she is shocked, and she lets the cat in because, this is progress. But then she finds out that this cat had somehow got poo stuck in the back fur, because the cat wasn't able to shave, and it like got caked in and got layered in, and it like kept not only festering, so like actually getting her sick, but also it like started moving because of course, like any animal, you need to get rid of access like literal crap in order to survive. But it moved around to where her her uterus, I no, that's like the inside, to the other spot of a cat. And we found out she was also pregnant. And so my parents got to work on like shaving that area and helping clean the spot. And the moment that we got all the literal fetus out, slid out a dead cat. Meaning that that baby, she was literally in labor, couldn't have the babies because of the blockage of the poo stuck to her. And so she went to the only source of friendliness she ever got for some help because she was in desperate need of help. And 5 more healthy babies came out after that. And Snow White was in the house at the time and also had other kittens that were a bit more on the older side, so they were doing fine. But and the Snow White's daughter couldn't give birth or couldn't like give milk yet because the infestation was actually making her sick, so she wasn't able to provide the milk that the cats would need. And so my dad took Snow White, pinned down the face and pinned down the body so that the baby cats would be able to eat. And Snow White was not liking it at all. And my dad was just kept annoyingly was just like, "These are your grandchildren. You're gonna shut up and take it." And she fought him back. She fought back a lot, but the babies did get fed, and they were able to grow up and be able to better take care of themselves. Actually, no, it wasn't even that. We fed the cats to make sure that they wouldn't die. And then Mom immediately took these cats to the pet shelter. And there's 5, and there was supposed to be a total of 6 cats, but one of them died because they give births in even numbers. And she took the 5 up to the pet shelter, and again, takes forever to get there. But then when she got there, she only saw 4 of the kittens. So she obviously gave them to them, panicking, saying, "Holy crap, where's the last kitten?" Drove back home and found the baby was still at the house. Was able to pick it up, still alive. We were extremely grateful, drove it back over, and was able to give that cat as well to the pet shelter. And absolute relief. I feel like I should have shared a story before this one that I'm about to tell you, but wind back in time, Snow White barely got friendly with us. And she also, kind of like her daughter, I guess like mother like daughter, she started getting friendly with us once she realized she needed somewhere safe to have the babies. And so she came in and accepted us, but then was literally just about to give labor. And so my mom quickly took one of the things closest to her, which was my Barbie coat. I was super little at the time. My Barbie coat that was super pink and super puffy, and I loved it because it was really warm. But she laid it out so the inside was where the labor was happening, and I got to see the blood and the guts and the baby kittens and the mom, and I was staring in horror because I thought in my brain, our family was so frugal because we had to be, that I thought, I'm going to need, I don't have a coat now, or I'm going to be wearing this. I don't want to wear cat blood and guts. And my mom turned to me, saw my face, and was like, don't worry, we'll get you a new coat. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, okay. But then I never got a coat that was quite as warm as that one, so I was still like, dang it, Snow White, why? And then, then later, there's another time where she snuck out, got pregnant, and then came back to us. And there were 4 cats. And at this time, I was big on the Bratz. And so I named each cat based off of one of the characters. And I did my research. I got the names this time. Yasmin, which was one that was just fully brown, and I think it was brown with stripes. Then there's Chloe, that was purely white, like Snow White. I was like, if this cat was yellow, it would make more sense. But I guess I'll give Chloe to this one. The name Chloe to this one. That's distinctly what I remember when I was naming these cats. But Jade was fully black all over, and then Sasha was a mixture of black, mostly black, with brown and orange spots littered throughout the fur. And it was kind of like throughout the family where like that one's the prettiest. And I loved all the cats, but that Sasha was like the one seen as the most beautiful out of all of them. And just like in nature, it's cause like cats. This is what was explained to me during that time, that sometimes cats consider some of their babies to be too weak, and so they like shoo them off from the rest of them and let them walk away and go die. And that was the case with Sasha. And I didn't understand at the time. The cat was in my bedroom. I'd gotten up, or no, it was a bit later in the day. So I went into my room and I saw the cat with her 3 of her babies, and then one of them walking away and like trying to find its mom basically, and it fell down from the cat bed. And I started panicking, so I ran over to try to get the cat over back to the rest of the family, and said cat snuck in to the like a little corner of my cabinet. I started panicking, tried to get the cat out, but I was also a kid and didn't know how to safely get the cat out without making it panic, so I made it panic, and it ran more. It got stuck and just started crying for help. And I tried to do a little bit more, because at the time my parents weren't home, so I was trying everything I could think of to get Sasha out. And then once I heard my parents were home, I ran to my parents and asked them for help about the cat. And my dad came back and was able to get the cat out, but the cat died by that point because it just got suffocated. And oh, that was such a tough day. Because I seen cats die, or dead like corpses of cats, and I've seen adult cats die, and I cried like a baby because I was still a little kid. But just seeing seeing a baby cat die, that I felt like I contributed to the death because I wasn't saw it in the works and wasn't able to save it. It hurt so much more, and we cried and cried, and my dad was like, that was my favorite cat. Out of all the cats we've taken in, that was my favorite cat. And that hurt so much. Then later, I think Snow White was not in our house by this point, but one other cat that we don't even know the mom of the cat, the mom whatsoever, but it was a classic case of the cat gave birth, and one of the adult the male cat that impregnated the girl was there to see if there was any male offspring, to basically take away competition. And this kitty, somehow, probably with the help of mom, the mom fought off the boy cat, or I guess the adult cat, I guess you could put it. And the little baby cat was able to. Now, this is my neighbor's fence, so it's a fence, and then there's 3 blocks of wood. And like a little kid my age could be able to, if I had those blocks, would be able to jump and then like climb up of it, but it wasn't easy. So it may be possible that the mom cat was like helping the cat get over it, and once it got to a point, it started fighting off the guy because, or maybe the guy was taking it away to go kill the baby cat, and the mom pulled the adult cat away. Not sure the context, but all I know is I remembered seeing in the dark. It was super late at night, extremely dark, closer to fall time. I just saw this little kitten that was in the fence, and I was yelling out to my mom to try to get her attention because this is kind of like our thing, and but also at the same time a little kid, and most adults are like ignore their, like, they don't check up on their kids unless something like they take their time because they're working on an issue they're currently in the moment of. And so I'm like giving narration, like, there's a cat. They're like, oh, what do you mean there's a cat? And I'm like, there's a baby cat and it's like stuck on the top of the fence and it looks very scary. It looks very scared. And then I saw the cat fall, and I freaked out and yelled out like, the cat just fell, the cat fell. And I saw it. I think I had really good eyes as a kid because even though there's extreme light in the room and I shouldn't be able to see that much, because the cat was like to the far end of our yard. We have a small yard, but it was at the far end of our yard where the fence was blocking us from the neighbor's yard. I still saw like something on the other side falling off, as well as the cat falling down. And I yelled out that the cat was hurt. And I didn't understand how it was hurt, but I understood it was hurt. And I was like, we need to get the cat inside. We need to get the cat inside now. And mom was like, okay, do this, do this, do this. And I was like, make yourself small, slowly approach cat so cat doesn't get scared, and then gently pick up cat. I think the fact that I rescued cats made me very gentle as a person in how I move, not how I think, but I I opened the door, and at first I was like super excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, we got a new cat. But then I calmed myself down because I could tell once I stepped out, I saw like a trail of blood as the cat was meowing very loudly because it just needs help, and is moving over toward the light, and I saw a trail of red, and I was like, holy crap, this cat needs serious help. This is a lot of blood for a little cat. And so I walked very slow. I I remember it was like this, and I took one leg out and did this. And I slid my body over, and then kept repeating this process again and again until I was able to safely make it up to a cat. And that cat, I'm sure he, like, I probably could have been even less um, slow and tedious with my movement, and that cat would have just gone along with it because it was just in desperate need of help. It was like I I need to just accept my fate one way or another, which is such a sad thought. But I found out it was an orange kitty with stripes and like a white belly and obviously a boy. And we took the cat in and um we were able to get it not only to full health, but we found out that when we brought it in that had no tail and it was bleeding, and we like worked to wrap up the wound. And we found out in that moment that, particularly I remember from looking at it, that that cat either sawed or chewed its own tail off in order to have a chance at survival, because if it was stuck, because it looked like it was stuck earlier in the fence for a while, so it meant that that cat worked to cut off its own tail in order to fall and be able to get away from the attacker. And we were able to not even go to the pet shelter. We were able to like raise the cat and give the cat um to a lady, to an old sweet lady that we knew that like got good money in the makeup industry. And so that, I know that cat grew up to become one of the most happiest cats in the world because it had a sweet old lady that didn't have anyone close by to now pamper the precious cat. So he lived a happy life. He lived a good life. That's actually reminding me, with Sasha, uh I don't know what happened with Jade or Yasmin, those cats, but Chloe, the one that I distinctly thought of, like, oh, this one's white. Chloe, looks like Caucasian blonde girl. Here you go. That cat actually got gifted to one of my close friends to my parents. And so there are times where I got to go to their house. We got to see Chloe again, like more grown up as an adult. And I got to learn that Chloe loved to swim in the water, which was very rare for a cat. And I was very proud of the fact that we were able to raise a unique cat. Then after that, I think like I grew up a little bit, and like I guess there weren't as many cats to rescue, or maybe we couldn't afford to be able to put money toward helping feed cats to get to do our whole system that we had. So we stopped doing that, but then we moved. I was always very close to cats in my heart. And then we moved out here, and we still don't own a cat, but our neighbors own outdoor cats. Particularly the cats do get fed, and they do have a shed that they go to before they go to bed, so it's not like an alley cat where they're fending for themselves in the wild. But these cats very much get to enjoy the outdoors and also go hunt for themselves via for lunch and dinner type of ordeal. And I think you guys, like, I showed in another video once, one of the cats, um, Ash Gray, that's more like today stuff. But there used to be two cats that were both very friendly with me. Uh, Not to brag, not meaning to brag. They were both very social creatures to everyone in general, so I didn't get special treatment. But I remember one of them being named Shadow, and one of them was super friendly, rubbed up to me, cuddly, and the other one was more like, I want to play it, let's play, let's play. And then the more cuddly one got killed by uh, just, I guess, maybe getting too friendly with humans and thinking that cars are okay, or maybe a case of just didn't look where it was going, or the car was too fast, so couldn't avoid it. But then Shadow, later on in life, got more panicky and just couldn't trust people to stay around. I'm sure, and I know I was part of the problem in that because I still went to school, and I still had other stuff going on, so I couldn't stay around as much as the cat needed me to. And the poor thing also got hit by a car, passing away. But that ice just very also a tuxedo cat thinking about it, but I I did love that cat, and I was so devastated when Shadow passed away. When both of them passed away, but I actually got to learn of Shadow's name. And then now there's the three cats that our neighbors have now, and I only got to remember two of the three names that they have. Rocky, which is the one that is very sociable with me, very sociable in general, and I because it made me remind me of Shadow, the Ashford the Ashford cat Rocky. Absolute I in a country sense absolutely peppered the cat. I brought this cat to this car multiple times so it knows during the winter time that this is a safe spot, and when it rains and I need and I was available, I could also come into this car and just admire the rain from the glass. The first time I let the cat come in and it got to see the rain but also have it not hit, Rocky was ecstatic and was having probably a spiritual experience. It's like, how is it I could see it coming and it's not hitting us. This is so cool. Absolutely cute moment. I was having a rough day that day too, so seeing the cat just be happy, I'm like, this is probably why people have animals. Just the animals have a sense of wonder for the world that we've gotten used to. That we're like, we love you, precious baby, we'll protect you. Then Smokey actually warmed up to us quite a bit, but that's more so because I also there were times I brought out food for Rocky. Smokey saw the food and was like, "Oh, I want some of that," and tries to steal some, and they fight, and I'm like, "Nuh-uh." So then I grab more, and Smokey started connecting the dots of this human brings in food, so if I befriend this human, I could possibly get food. You know, uh, typical stuff. Smokey learned what cats long ago learned about us. Um, then last thing. Um, my sibling also has cats, and I'm not gonna talk about them as much because with the other cats, I interact with them constantly, and with these ones, I haven't really interact with. But I know that one of the cats got adopted, and my sibling absolutely loves them, and then another one had a there's this statement called the cat distribution system on TikTok, which is basically a case of, in one way or another, you get adopted by a cat. Sometimes it's a cat absolutely fawning over you because it loves you and wants to be in your life, or it's a case of something happens within the world and now the cat there's this cat has kind of become your responsibility. And But either way, it's basically a case of the cat adopting you, less so of you adopting the cat. And I seen it happen multiple times online. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Maybe one day that might happen to me, but it's cute, but also kind of shocking. And then seeing it happen to my sibling made me go, oh my gosh, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Then I told 35 minutes. I told you this one was gonna be a long one, but yeah, I am allergic to cats. Even throughout all this, I was allergic to cats, but I was like, I will suffer for the sake of the good fluff, the wholesome fluff. So it was worth it in my eyes, and I still love cats. I love dogs as well, but I feel like if I got one of the two, I'd either get a very big dog that could protect me, but also I'd take care of it, or I'd get a cat. So yeah, I please like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to hear more of me, and well, not more of me, but just me ranting. And I named this channel in a sense of I plan on doing experiments, and currently this channel's still kind of the experiment before I can do all the other stuff that I want to do. So I have more stuff in the works, but subscribe if you want to see that. And I'll let you go. Bye.